right, good morning, job seekers, and welcome to Ohio Means Jobs, Jobs in the 419. Today we are going to have a guest speaker, and we've talked about this the last couple podcasts.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, this is the beginning of National Apprenticeship Week.
Right.
So our guest speaker is going to talk a little bit about that today.
That's right.
So with me today is...
I'm Ron Jones. I'm the Community Outreach Specialist at Ohio Means Jobs.
And I'm really looking forward to showcasing Mr. Lee Dahir. Okay, job seekers, we're going to shake things up a bit today. We have a guest speaker with us. And last week, I mentioned we were going to have a National Apprenticeship Week. And so we are now in National Apprenticeship Week. And that event was going to take place on the 20th. So we've only got 2 more days left to go. And I'm sure many of you are wondering, what is an apprenticeship? Because we've been talking about it in length. And today I thought I'd like to introduce you to someone who knows a lot about apprenticeships. This is Lee Dahir. And Lee, I would like for you to tell us your role and what you do in carpentry and also who you work for.
Absolutely. So I am a 25-year union member. I've been working with the union for the past 11 years of my career, and I am with the Central Midwest Regional Council of Carpenters. I know that's a mouthful, but that's the Carpenters Union here in Northwest Ohio. We offer an apprenticeship, and that apprenticeship is where you work side by side, day in, day out, with somebody that is a journeyman in the craft. And sometimes you may be paired up with another apprentice. But also, when you're not out in the field, you are in the classroom at our training center located in Rossford, Ohio.
It's a lot of information. I know many people have thought about, joining an apprenticeship program, but sometimes we hear it can be a complicated process. So I think if you can break down a few steps on how you actually make application, that could be helpful.
Yeah, it's really simple, actually. The join our apprenticeship is basically you have to have 2 things. And I will say that you have to have 3 things.
Okay. 1,
can you pass a drug test? And 2, do you have reliable transportation? But the third, you got to have a great attitude. Also, it's that simple. We will teach you the rest on how to be a successful carpenter and have a lifelong career as a carpenter in our apprenticeship and then through our union throughout your whole career. We have the capabilities of, you can apply any day, 24/7 at www.ohcap.org, ocap.org. You can apply right from your phone and submit an application, and we'll send you a follow-up email after you submit your application.
Wow, seems pretty easy. We've been talking a lot in our podcast about soft skills and the importance and relevance of those in looking for jobs and getting hired in positions. So I'm glad you brought up the attitude part. I know there's going to be many other soft skills that are going to be related to this type of position, and I think you could identify just a few more for us that you think you're looking for in someone who's interested in being a carpenter.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You got to have the drive and the initiative to want to, go to work every day and ask questions to better yourself, better the crew around you, and better the job when it's ultimately all done. So then you can progress and go to the next job with your contractor that you're working for. That ultimately will play a big role in your career, is having that skill set of being able to work with a multitude of different kind of people out there. Mm-hmm. Not everybody's the same. Different attitudes, different upbringings, and being able to adjust and work with that person is going to be one of the things that makes you succeed before the next guy.
Thank you for that, because we often tell people that in our soft skills workshops, what's necessary in order to excel. So people, you're hearing it from the professional today. So keep that in mind when you show up on the 20th and you're talking to these organizations that are interested in hiring and taking people on into the apprenticeship programs here in Lucas County. One other thing I would like for you to share too are what some of the benefits are in working, towards an apprenticeship. I mean, sometimes people just see the initial onboarding process and they think, oh, how long is this going to take, when they get a short-term credential. But for this, what really are the true benefits?
Well, the true benefits is it's a lifelong career. That's the number one aspect of it right off the rip. We tell everybody it's a 4-year apprenticeship. Mm-hmm. And when you're going through the apprenticeship, I often tell people in the very first class that they have, think about your first day of high school. And now think about the last day. How quick did it go? Because that's how quick this apprenticeship will go in the long game of it all. But the benefits, we start out with a great pay. We get over $20 an hour to start on the check. And then that comes with the benefits of healthcare, pension, all throughout your apprenticeship. And the training is 100% free. There's no lab fees, no book fees, no tuition. It's just show up, be there, get the instruction from the instructors who are carpenters, were carpenters out in the field at one time. Now they're teaching our apprentices and bringing them up through the system. With the benefits that it allows, it's, like I said, a lifelong career.
Well, I keep emphasizing in our orientations at Ohio Means Jobs that there is an extreme shortage in this area. And I also talk about catastrophic events and things that are happening around the country and how people need to rebuild, whether it be business, residential, whatever the case might be. So I think if you can answer to how significant of a shortage there is, even just in our area, I think that would be helpful for people to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Northwest Ohio is a ripe market. We have a lot of industry here, believe it or not, but then also we have a great commercial market. We have higher education that does a lot of building. And then on our industrial side, we have 3 refineries in Northwest Ohio that employ a lot of union carpenters and union tradesmen. We have a nuclear facility. We have many power plants, steel mills, and many production facilities that require a lot of work and maintenance to keep them running. So we are there all the time working in those facilities. And then talk about healthcare. We work in a lot of the healthcare facilities. They're constantly doing some sort of renovation or new build, and we're right on top of that, and we're training to be the best and most professional tradesmen out there.
Well, it sounds like you take a lot of pride in the work that you do, and I know that sometimes we resonate with special projects that we might have worked on, and even in a city like Toledo, it's a big, small town, right?
Absolutely.
You might drive around and you pass things. Is there a special project that you worked on that you really enjoyed being a part of?
Yes, absolutely. There's 2. One was the big one was and my most favorite is the I-280 bridge, the Glass City Veterans Memorial Bridge. I was on that project for almost 3 years in the casting yard, building the segments that are actually over the water. It's an iconic project, Toledo in Northwest Ohio, and to be a part of that for as long as I was. I finished my apprenticeship there and was a journeyman on that for over 2 years. I loved it. I loved the work, loved the guys I was working around. It was great to, be a part of that iconic project. The other one, it was a short-term job. It was roughly 3 months I was on the project, was putting the seats in at Fifth Third Field where the Mud Hens play. So that was cool just to be able to say I was a part of those 2 projects and many others all across the Toledo and Northwest Ohio area. It's been pretty awesome. And you're exactly right. I built that. Whenever I drive by it, I spread the word in the car, whoever I'm with, doesn't matter if my wife or friends. Yeah, I helped build this or I helped build that, or I was on that project for a day or 2 or however long.
Well, it sounds like you've identified your purpose, and purpose is very important in a career and, making your future a bright future for yourself. So I appreciate hearing that. And do you think you're going to be joining us at all on the 20th in anytime between 9:30 and 2:30?
Yeah, absolutely. I fully intend being there on Wednesday to have a table set up and talk to any job seekers that may be out there looking to join our apprenticeship. And absolutely, I plan on being there.
So come on in with some questions, folks. I hope you want to dress to impress and at least have an opportunity to sit down with Mr. Dyer to learn more about the Carpenters Union. And if you could tell us one more time how you can apply to the Carpenters Union, we'd appreciate hearing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Go to our webpage, www.ohcap.org. That's ocap.org. You can do it right from your phone, and we will send you a follow-up email once you apply. Cost you nothing. You can do it 24/7. And as I said before, 3 things that we like: pass the drug test, reliable transportation, and positive attitude.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Hey, no problem. I love this.
I was really impressed to learn a little bit more about the Carpenters Union.
Yeah,
And I think what's really interesting is his passion.
definitely.
He is very passionate about, sharing what he does with people, and he would love for people to come into the atrium on Wednesday.
Yeah,
And he'll be there in person to talk a little bit more, shake your hand,
yeah,
look at your resume, talk about some skills that you might have.
right.
And you too might be interested in the carpentry
Yeah,
profession.
a career in carpentry.
Yep, yep.
You know, my favorite part about what he said was when he spoke about going to different places around town and seeing things that he worked on. He mentioned, you know, working on the 280 bridge and working on the seats at Mud Hen Stadium. I just think that's so cool. You know what I mean? You built the town. You know what I mean? And what a cool thing to be able to do. What an awesome career to be able to have.
And you too, job seekers, may have that opportunity as well.
Yeah. You want to talk about some hot jobs?
Yeah. So I'll start with the first one.
Great.
All right. So we're looking for a data entry specialist. This happens to be in medical billing. So those of you who have gone through some of the hot jobs before, we've never really had one specifically in medical billing. And I know that we've had a number of people take some in-demand training for this.
Right.
So this is a full-time position, and the work week is Monday through Friday. It's first shift. Now, obviously, the responsibilities are going to be to enter billing data into a system.
Right.
More importantly, though, it's going to be the ability to follow directions with detail because there's different codes, things that have to be plugged in order for the payments to be reconciled.
That's right. Different things you have to know for different insurance companies.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, it's a very important job,
Yeah,
but you have to be detail oriented.
absolutely.
So there's the ability to multitask, and some of these workloads are going to be pretty heavy. This is what they're saying in the job description. They wouldn't be making that up, right?
No.
Okay. And they would like someone who can word process at 60 words a minute.
Yeah.
So they want some proficiency in Excel and Word, and there needs to be some excellent communication skills for this candidate and the ability to navigate a fast-paced, production-driven environment. Now, as I've mentioned in the past, come on down to the center to be assessed in the North Star digitalization assessments that we have, because this is where you're going to be able to test your knowledge in Word and Excel. And then we also have software available to test your typing speeds, because you really don't want to just put something down on your resume and then you are going to be tested after the interview.
Right.
So we want to be sure that the candidate who applies for this actually has these proficiencies. There's a nice benefit package. There's a medical plan, health savings plan, or HSA, as you may know it, dental, vision, life insurance, 401k, paid holidays, and paid time off. Pay is negotiable.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take the second one here. Hot job number 2. This one is for a maintenance individual for a commercial real estate company. So they are looking for what they're calling a mobile tech. This person would assist with troubleshooting, diagnostic, housekeeping, and repairs on commercial buildings, industrial systems, vehicles, grounds, and maintenance equipment. Knowledge of plumbing systems, kitchen equipment, roofs, drains, HVAC, all required. You're going to need to be able to replace and repair finishes like ceiling tiles, wallpaper, paint ceilings, walls, handle piping, floors, and other equipment as well. Ability to respond to emergency situations and provide customer support when assigned. Routine inspection of buildings and grounds for unsafe conditions and malfunctions, including providing preventative maintenance, which of course is very important. The candidate should possess at least 2 years of maintenance in a commercial setting, be technically proficient, take initiative, and possess a sense of urgency. Very important. Sense of urgency, hard to teach to people. Need to have at least a high school diploma, some vocational and technical training in one of the following: HVAC, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, carpentry, or engine repair, a valid driver's license and good driving record, basic computer skills like Outlook, Excel, Word, and you may need to work extended hours. The job does present physical demands that the candidate must be able to successfully complete for the essential functions of the job. Benefit package includes health and wellness components, vacation and PTO, and financial and retirement planning.
This is where I think the title Jack of all trades comes in.
For sure, yeah, you got to be good. I mean, you got to know a lot.
Well, and the other thing too is this is a lot of information to go on a one-page resume. So I would encourage the individual who's applying for this, if you have an opportunity to come in,
Absolutely.
maybe sit down with staff to go over it, because people really appreciate only getting a one page, but it's hard to put all of this into that,
Might need to
form.
use some clever formatting and things like that to
Yeah.
get it all in there and make sure that it looks good, but also still gets picked up by the ATS systems and
yes.
things like that. So,
And more importantly, it's the interview. being
Yeah.
able to share some of these examples
Right.
and how you've been able to problem solve or diagnose issues, and then also demonstrate a sense of urgency.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, well, we have a third job today. I'm sorry to inform you that we don't have 6 because we did have our guest
These
speaker.
interviews went pretty long.
It did.
But it was very informative.
It did, and you can still go back to the hot jobs page that's going to be shown here at the end of the podcast to see other jobs that, may spark some interest. But I just wanted to let you know this is the last one for today. It is a yard person, and no, it will not be raking leaves in the yard or cutting grass. This is going to be working in the yard of a lumber yard.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the individual is a full-time position with Monday through Friday. They're going to need to operate a forklift. So there's going to have to be the ability to handle the materials and maybe unload trucks, place them in the warehouse,
Right.
so they know where things are at and can identify them quickly. The other thing is they may be putting loads together for people who make purchases.
Gotcha.
So there's contractors that may come in, have an order, and they're going to need to put those together as quickly as possible. Now, the company is going to provide the forklift operation certification. If you do have some forklift experience, that would be helpful, but again, you will be certified by the company. It's going to be important to have some good communication skills because what's going to happen is there could be discrepancies as they're unloading trucks from distribution centers, and then you're trying to, warehouse that. If the orders are incorrect, you need to let the management know, and they can just stay right on the truck and go back where they came from, right? You must keep the warehouse and the yard organized, and then you need to be able to follow simple instructions, be able to write correspondence, because this way you might be communicating with customers. I don't know about you, but I've had some work done recently, and I get a ton of emails as I'm trying to work on a project. Your supplies are here, the contractor then calls you or emails you. So simple correspondence is always necessary in some of these types of work settings. And then also they're looking for someone who does have a high school diploma and can lift up to 80 pounds. Now they have a ton of benefits. And I think one of the things that's really important is they do have an employee assistance program, paid vacations, personal sick time, paid holidays, training and development opportunities.
Always important.
Yes. And then they also have a discount program for the individuals, as well as some sort of recognition and awards that they do provide their employees. So it's really nice to know that you're respected for what you do and are able to be recognized by not only management, but your peers.
Right.
I think that's really important. There's also some scholarship opportunities for dependents, and they have a 401 savings and profit sharing plan.
Great.
So
That's
I think
awesome.
that's a great opportunity for someone. I think if you had a background in carpentry,
Yeah,
would be helpful.
definitely.
And we do have a number of people we've gone through with the in-demand jobs that have gone to some of our partnering schools
Sure.
over at Penna, Owens, and so forth, Northwest State, that have been skilled in some of these trades where they may be not only interested in a job like this, but the maintenance position in the commercial real estate
Very true.
brokerage. So I really am happy about some of these opportunities that we've presented today.
Yeah.
Now, we do have to talk a little bit about what's going on this week,
Yeah.
right?
For sure.
Okay, because we've been leading up to it,
Yeah.
and I want our audience to understand that this is for them.
Definitely.
Okay, so on Wednesday from 9:30 to 2:30, the shared campus will be open. It will have a group of resources that are educationally related, employment related, self-help related in the atrium. And this is for you to come in and be able to identify some potential opportunities for personal growth and development. Perhaps showcase your resume, do an on-the-spot interview, ask a number of questions. And as I mentioned, this is National Apprenticeship Week, and there are a slew of different types of apprenticeships. Sometimes we just talk about those in the skilled trades, but today many employers are looking to skill up their workforce and groom their own employees,
Mhm.
whether they be in finance, IT, HR, legal departments, where they're taking people and they're grooming them to become seasoned employees. And they also help with you going to school to
Right.
become better trained, and you get paid while you're on the job working for them.
Yeah.
So we will be talking to a number of employers in our community later that afternoon. It's a private sort of seminar that's going to be hosted for them to learn more about registered apprenticeships and how valuable they can be to job seekers and to their organizations. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great event. I'm really looking forward to it too. Folks at home, you'll be able to find me at the event. I'll have a table. You can come talk to me about stuff if you want. But I hope you also stop by and talk to all of our partners and participating organizations.
Yeah. And the other thing I want to mention too is that there's a Fatherhood initiative that's also going on. So for individuals, fathers, uncles,
Yeah.
brothers, grandfathers, someone that plays a significant role in the life of a child. I think it's really important that if you might be struggling or you need some extra supports, this would be a day to come into the center too, because there's going to be some organizations there that are going to be assisting with fathers to help them identify, better ways of communicating, parenting skills, just a little bit of extra help that everyone could use every once in a while.
Exactly. And Toledo has a lot of really awesome fatherhood programs out there that people could really benefit from.
And I think it's a best kept secret, actually.
I really do too.
So hopefully you'll come over and enjoy the afternoon with us. So we want to talk a little bit about our calendar of events, and I'm not so sure. Do you know these like off the top of your head when it comes to the library visits?
Well, I can tell you that.
Or do you need to see?
I need to see it because I know the
Okay.
weeks, but not often the days. So so today, which is November the 18th, I'll be at Mott Branch Library from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Then I will be back there on Thursday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., which Thursday is the 21st.
Okay.
Okay. Of course, we've got Trio and Owens who'll be here from 2 to 4:30 on Wednesday the 20th. The last week of the month, on the 25th, I'll be at Sanger Branch Library, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. That Tuesday, the 26th, we'll have our financial literacy class. Then Wednesday, the 27th, Trio and Owens are back from 2 to 4 p.m. And then on Thanksgiving and, of course, Black Friday will be closed. So Thursday, the 28th, and Friday, the 29th, our office is closed for the holiday.
So the thing that you mentioned that's really, it parallels nice with the apprenticeship week thing would be the Trio group
Yes.
on the 20th and the 27th.
Right.
Because for people that are interested in training or going back to school,
Yeah.
they would be able to contact them, having maybe if
Right.
they can't see them on the 20th, they could make an appointment for the 27th.
Right.
But this is where you're going to talk a little bit more about the career coaching counseling,
Yeah.
FAFSA applications, maybe do some evaluation of some past credit issues with, student loans that you might have had in the past.
And you know what? I think a lot of people don't really know the breadth of courses and certifications and stuff that you can earn at Owens. There's lots of stuff that they do that a lot of people don't know about. And the folks who come in here are very knowledgeable about those programs. So if you're interested in CDL driving, hey, Owens does CDL driving courses. Okay, you can talk to them about that. So they also do nursing programs and things like that. So if you want to come by, I would definitely come by and check out those, ask some questions and things like that.
Yep, and they also have the Trio group, which does
Yes.
represent other organizations, educational organizations, and so this would be a great opportunity if you're exploring classes for Penta, Northwest State. They're also partners of ours,
Yeah.
where you can figure out, is this a good fit for me? Is this going to work? Am I going to be able to get FAFSA for this?
Right.
Because people are needing funding for training opportunities.
Yeah.
And they might be able to parallel that as well with what their employers have to offer, because sometimes there's tuition reimbursement from different companies. They
Right.
might be willing to pay up to half of their cost of your tuition.
Yeah.
So it's putting it all together. It's like little puzzle pieces, and the folks here at Trio and Owens and our other educational providers would be happy to talk to you about those prospects.
Right. Right.
So one more thing to mention though before we sign off for today is about the workshops, because it's still a little early. We have some time if you need to get your resume in order or you want to practice interviewing. We would still have a workshop today.
Yes. Well, today
Is
it will be
orientation.
orientation, which
Yeah.
is super valuable if you want to learn more about the different partners and programs that for us and for all of Toledo and Lucas County that exist. I mean, there's so many of them that are, I mean, folks just have no clue about some of these things, and they're very valuable to know. I've recommended lots of people come to orientation just because they aren't sure what they need, and this can help you align yourself and sort of point you in the right direction.
Yep, and then you can see that we offer it 3 times a week,
Yep.
orientation on Monday and Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then we still would have 1 day left to do resume writing.
Right.
That would be on Tuesday at 10:30.
Yep.
And the day of the event, we would have soft skills in
Yes.
the morning. Ms. Donzella would be, working on
Absolutely.
that with anyone who's interested. And then, of course, we have our interviewing workshop on Thursdays.
That's right.
So, make a note of that. There's still a little time to get that in, and we look forward to seeing you at the event on November 20th between 9:30 and 2:30.
That's right. Now, before we sign off, just want to remind everybody at home, don't forget to check us out on social media. Okay, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're on all of those places. We're also, you can get the big job report also on omjlc.com or come into the office and we've got them at the front desk for you. So keep in mind both of those things.
Well, and the
And-
other thing too is I don't think people really realize how many opportunities are available in our community.
No,
I mean, there
no.
are some people who do 2 applications a week, let's say.
Yeah.
Well, we all know 2 applications a week is not going to land you what you
No.
possibly want.
No,
It's not. So there needs to be an effort, but there are opportunities, and I want to stress that if you put in the time,
Mhm.
you do the homework, you spend time with staff looking at your resume, practice interviewing,
Yeah.
you're gonna nail it.
Yes.
Something's gonna come your way that you won't be able to turn down.
Yeah.
But you got to put the effort in. And so I look at all these different opportunities that are presented, and whoever gets these, they're going to be sitting okay.
Right. Like you've said in the past, finding a job is a job.
Yep.
Right? You got to put in the time, you got to put in the effort, you got to build yourself up, and you got to execute. And
And if you need building up,
we're here to help.
that's what we do.
That's what we do.
We pump you up because we know that sometimes it's a real struggle. There's
Yeah.
a lot of stress and anxiety, but the staff here is encouraging, and we're here to empower you to be the best that you can be.
That's right. So if you have any questions on that stuff, you can always call us also, 419-213-5627. That's 419-213-JOBS,
Yes.
right? Give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Thank you for spending some time with us today, and we look forward to seeing you on the 20th. Happy job, honey.